Hey guys, this is Dave from Hellhammer, and today we're going to start with a new series on the channel, learning to play Warhammer 40,000 from the beginning, stripped right back to basics, as a way of encouraging newer people into the hobby, and maybe for you veterans to check over some rules and relearn things like I've done with this series. Now I'm going to be playing the scenarios out of the Imperium magazine collection to bring the game up, layer by layer. So the first mission we're going to show is called First Contact. The Rasmus system is at war. On the surface of the industrial moon Megaria, a small force of Dragon Knights have arrived to battle an invading army of soulless robotic Necrons. The Necron invaders have already begun to transform Megaria into an alien fortress. Across the surface of the moon, Space Marines battle Necron phalanxes in the shadow of towering Necron obelisks and ruined Imperial factorums. Imperial forces have identified a repair station beneath the surface of Megaria as a key target. If the Dragon Knights can prevent the Necrons from repairing their android legions, maybe the Imperium may yet counter the Necron threat and reclaim the Rasmus system for the Emperor. So this mission can consist of a Royal Warden and a Primaris Lieutenant, which is what you got with the first issue of the magazine. In the mission briefings for the Necrons, beneath the surface of Megaria, in the heart of a Necron repair complex, a single Royal Warden has awoken in the darkness. The Space Marines' assault on the planet's surface has damaged the facility's systems, destroyed many of its Canoptech Guardians. To make matters worse, a force of Space Marines has broken through the Necron facility's outer defences. Though the repair complex's automated defences will surely take care of most of the trespassers, the Royal Warden must reach and activate the facility's repair nodes. Doing this will revive its damaged kin so they may rise up and drive back the remaining Space Marines. The Space Marine briefing. Having landed on Megaria, the Dragon Knights spread out, scouting the ruins and seeking Necron strongholds. Strange readings from beneath the planet's surface revealed the presence of alien technology to them. A small force of Space Marines have made their way through a crack in the moon's crust and into a Necron repair complex. As they explored the ruins, the tomb-like structure's Canoptech defenders slew many of their number, and the rest became separated by the alien labyrinth. A single Primaris Lieutenant finds himself near the repair complex's core. With his brother accounted for, it falls to him to stop the Necron's awakening. So the setup for this there are 3 objectives across the middle of the board, and in the opposite corners from each other is the Royal Warden and the Primaris Lieutenant. Each of those objective markers is a repair node that needs to be activated. Now the main rules this is going to look at is how to move, which if you look on the screen will tell you the best parts, how to check your dice results, and how to track wounds. Okay, so the protagonists for today is the Royal Warden from the Mentu dynasty and the Primaris Lieutenant with Volkite pistol, Storm Shield from the Dragon Knights. Now the objective of this is for the Royal Warden to activate one of the repair nodes to start awakening the rest of the Tomb World from the infiltration of Space Marines. So with that in mind, let's get started. Now in Warhammer 40,000 there are profiles, and the main ones we're going to look at today are the movement, ballistic skill, which is what you use for shooting with, wounds, how resilient they are, how much damage they can take, and their armour save, how good their armour is for protecting themselves. So, for this, the Necron player goes first. Now Necron, Wardens, have a move of 5. Slow automatons. And he's going to take some pot shots at the Lieutenant with his Gauss Blaster. Now, Gauss weapons in the lore are designed to atomize and strip you back armour, flesh, muscle, bone, until there's nothing left. So, he gets 2 shots, and he needs a 3 to hit. And he hits both times. Now, is the power armour of the Space Marines enough to withstand these shots? Or will he start losing chunks of armour? Unfortunately for the Necron Warrior, he tanks them and he doesn't suffer any damage. So now it's the Space Marine player's turn. Now Space Marines move a little bit faster than their opponents, so he gets a 6-inch move. Now I find when I'm moving units, measuring front to base is a lot better and a lot more friendly towards your opponents. Because in some games, and there are some players out there that will measure from the front to start the move and finish the move with the back, adding the whole base to their movement. So on a smaller base like the Warden's on, you'll be getting an extra inch of movement. You'll be getting just under 2 inches of movement if you did it with the bigger base of the Lieutenant. Now, the Lieutenant's pistol, his Volkite pistol, fires beams of superheated energy. And he's going to have a pot shot at his opponents to stop him activating the repair nodes. Now, the Lieutenant has a better ballistic skill than his opponent, so he will hit on a 2 to the Necron's 3. And as you can see, he's hit both times. Now, being a Royal Warden, he's got better armour than the troops he leads, so he's a bit more resilient, and he has a 3-up save. And again, he makes them both. So after the first round, there is no damage. So it's now the Necron player's turn. So the Royal Warden moves to the first of the repair nodes. Moves to the repair node to try and start activating his Tomb World to deal with the Space Marine incursion. And he'll fire his blaster again. And he only hits once this time. Can the Space Marine absorb the damage? And he can. Crouching behind the shield, the force field inside the shield dissipates the shots. And now the Space Marine gets to move. Now, you don't have to move the full movement allowance on your sheet. So the Space Marine has a move of 6. I can move him anything up to 6 inches, but I can't move him any further than that. So, the Space Marine is going to shoot his opponent again. Now, it's good practice. If the dice comes off the board or the table, do you just roll another dice? So he only hits once. Using the armour of his resiliency, does the Royal Warden take the damage, or does he start losing parts of his body? And he makes the armour save. So no damage by either side. Now, at the end of the battle round, he gets to attempt to activate a repair node. Now, he needs a 5 to do this. If he gets a 5, the battle is over. The Necrons win. If not, he's got to try again on one of the other 2 objectives. So, he does not succeed. So that repair node is taken away, because he's tried to activate it, and he wasn't right. So, now it's the Space Marine player's turn. So using our range ruler, he's going to stay where he is, and just blast 2 shots into the Necron. And he only hits once. Does the Necron take damage, or does it just bounce off his armour? It bounces off his armour with a resounding 6. There's no way this guy's taking damage. So now it's the Necron player's turn, and he has to try and get to the other two. So he's going to try and shoot his opponent again, and he gets one hit. Does the Space Marine save it? Yes, he does. So once again, the Space Marine is tanking damage. And the Space Marine player's turn, he's going to stay where he is and try and cause some damage. He hits with both his shots. Necron, does he respond or does he take damage? He takes a point of damage. So, the Necron War Warden only has 4 wounds. So every point of damage he loses, you reduce his wounds count by 1. So we're going to use an 8-sided dice to mark the fact he's gone from 4 wounds to 3. Now that dice will follow him around wherever he goes, so your opponent can see how many wounds that model has left. There are many ways of doing it. Dice is a common one. You can get counters. The Necromunda game has blood counters which show 1 or 2 damage, which comes in handy for Space Marines, especially with them now only having 2 wounds as a basic Space Marine. So it's the Royal Warden's turn. He still can't get to that objective, so he's going to try and go for the next one. Remember to move his wound counter with him. And he's going to try and off his opponent at the same time. And he gets 1 hit. Does the Space Marine shrug it off? He does not. Now the Space Marine, having thicker, heavier armour than his opponent, has 4 wounds remaining out of the 5 he started with. And now he gets to shoot at his opponent. He's going to fire his pistol again. He gets 2 hits. As I said earlier, he's got a better ballistic skill. And the Necron gets to try and save these. And another one goes through. So as he reels from the first shot, the force of the first shot, he reels a weak piece of his armour, and the shot goes through. So, try and get to this node up here. He's going to try and shoot his opponent. He hits twice. Does the armour take it, or does it start melting? And the armour takes it. So this Space Marine is taking a lot of damage, which is what Space Marines do. They're supposed to be able to take more firepower than their lesser brethren. So with that in mind, he's going to pot shot at his opponent. He only hits once, the dreaded 1. Does his opponent make a save, or will his opponent take another point of damage? And he saves it. He catches it on the thickest part of his armour. So he's going to fire at the Space Marine again for intruding on his tomb world, and he hits twice. So will the Space Marine's armour take it? And it does. Yet more shots bounced off that shield. This is one tough Space Marine. So now it's the Space Marine player's turn. He's going to fire at his opponent again. And he hits twice. Does the Necron save it? Or will this be the end of the Royal Warden? Only 1 goes through. So, he's now down to his last wound. 1 more point of damage, he's dead. and the Space Marine player wins. Now, on a 5+, he'll activate that repair node, and the Necron player will win. So, on a 6, it's activated. The Tomb World is starting to wake up. After a grueling battle, the forces of the Necrons manage to activate the repair nodes and to start bringing their android legions back to life, spelling destruction for the Space Marines. So that was an overview of how the game plays. So, looking back, we've covered how to move, how to shoot, and how to make armor saves. As the battles go on, more and more layers will be added until you are playing full games of Warhammer 40,000. There is many more of these battles to come. So if you enjoyed this, like and subscribe, leave comments below, tell me what else you want to see. I'm more than willing to accommodate you, as best I can. So, in the interim, that is Dave from Hellhammer reporting off.